All right. Well, first of all, Kurt, we want to thank you for having us and trusting us with this project. Um, we used to joke a lot about Steve that he was the godfather of the SpikeNet. If Steve is the godfather, you are our stepdad, and we love you.
Wow.
You are for trusting us, and since you come on board, you've been awesome. So thank
Well,
you for joining us. And
awesome. Well, thank you guys. I love what you do and have done for us for a long time. And I love this concept. And I hope this is the first of many, many SpikeNet and friends.
yeah, thank for pushing us because I love something that you said when we met. You said I want you all to be yourself, Puerto Rican, bilingual,
Yes.
and we were like, you know what? We always been behind the camera, so thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, you guys might want to stay behind the cameras, but no,
That's why
all
we
of
got
us,
all these
none of
snaps.
us are that good looking out here except for Brian. He's young.
So, Kurt, it's been a year already.
Yes.
Can you tell us of how this year has been for you?
Um, it's been phenomenal. I have loved every day. First and foremost, we have an awesome staff, and you can see it by all the things that are going on here at our biggest and best event. Um, Kristen Stanley and Brianna Roderick are our events people, and they organize all the stuff out here. And Michelle and Amanda are working behind the scenes with ticketing and operations, and Chris from a marketing perspective, and Mo, our new intern, and she's going to move into a little bit more than that over the summer. And three of them played college volleyball,
Yeah.
so they have a love and a passion just like you guys do. And that has been the best part of the job is getting to know them. I had a great opportunity in the fall to go out to a lot of different clubs around the region, and meet with club directors, and just get a feel for what can we do better, what can we do to make their lives better, and education was one of the big components. So we're really evaluating what we can do to offer education, both the X's and O's for coaching,
Yep.
and then some of the mental aspects of how we can treat our kids and fill them up. You guys talked to Banks yesterday
Oh yes, but Mr. Banks was awesome.
with the Positive Coaching Alliance. We have the Fellowship of Christian Athletes here. We've got 2 or 3 other organizations that are interested in really how we can prepare these young ladies and young men to be better, well-rounded individuals on top of being great volleyball players. So that's been a fun aspect of it. And then just being involved with our events. I think we are the best region in the nation. And I think that comes from we have great club directors, we have great coaches, we have a great staff, and they all working together, and great officials as well.
Yep.
Gosh, I didn't want to leave them out. We produce so many great officials that work our national events as well. So, I've just inherited a dream team, and I'm just trying to get out of their way and let them do what they do, and then try to think of ways we can just continue to improve. The staff calls me the fun guy. I'm just thinking about fun ideas. And when you guys brought me the idea of this, we were like, yes, let's do a podcast. And if we can do this at all of our events or a monthly basis, we're going to roll that out as well.
Yeah,
So,
we're looking forward for it.
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit of how in advance and how much it takes to put an event like this together?
Well, we have contracts for the next 5 or 6 years with the
Already?
convention center. So yeah, once we're finished here, we'll kind of debrief a little bit. Obviously have the boys event in June up in Gainesville, but we will, write down all of our little things that we need to improve on. Which, when you're on the walkie-talkies all day, you hear, "Oh my gosh, this is going wrong," or "This is going wrong," and then you walk out and you talk to people, and they're like, "I've been playing in this event for 5 or 10 years." Mom saying they played in the event, now they're bringing their daughters here. So we just want to continually get better, and we'll start working on 27, in a week or so. So, but a lot of it is, just that machine that just keeps rolling. The officials, getting our dates set, working with you guys from a creative standpoint. So but it's continually and ongoing, and we love the process. The ladies in the office are always like, let's figure out how we can get better. I think you see the grand entrance we've had
Yep.
for our athletes. They're walking in on a red carpet.
And as a I'm not a player, but as a spectator, walking to that
The
red
red
carpet makes you
carpet.
feel it makes you
I
feel
felt
like
like a
important.
movie star.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
all like,
yeah.
I film it when I walk in. Like, oh, my first.
Maybe
red
next year we make you guys wear tuxes.
Oh.
That's
We're
gonna
all,
be rough.
we'll do the podcast in tuxedos, right?
Something else that you guys do every year before this event is the award ceremony, which I want to touch. Is one of the coolest things. How much you pour back to the community, all the students, all the hard work. Can you tell us a little bit about that
Sure.
ceremony?
Yeah. Well, one is you guys prepared a hype video to kick off the award ceremony on Thursday night, and it got me going. I walked up on stage, and I had to. I didn't have to, but I get to lead the event. And when I walked up and saw the video, I was like, I'm ready to go. But we honor our past. We have 15 awards that we dole out, and including our Hall of Fame, and we had 2 Hall of Fame inductees this year. And then we also award roughly 30 scholarships, which you guys are a part of that program. $148,000 were awarded the other night. That brings our total above 1.1 million in the life of our scholarship program that Steve Bishop, instigated, and so we feel it's a great opportunity for us to just continually give back to these kids who work so hard. And the variety of the student winners is really cool. I mean, we've got a couple going to the Ivy Leagues, a Harvard and a Princeton. Some going to the state colleges here in Florida, which is an awesome program. I was an athletics director at the state college level in Seminole State. And the education that they get there as well is great. And then we've got some great benefactors. All of our corporate sponsors give to this program, and then Joe and Judy Norelli fund the second and third or fourth year of those scholarships. So it's just a well-run event, and I just love seeing the award winners afterwards getting their selfies. Or this year I noticed a lot of the kids wanted to take pictures with the person or the entity that donated back to them. So I appreciate that because it shows that they're really thinking about the gift they've been given.
Yeah.
So.
And Miami High brought the whole club. I guess.
Oh man, that was awesome! When they brought the club director up, and he's just, the place exploded. I'm like, this is what you want.
That was cool. That was
What
cool.
does that process look like for somebody who's trying to get involved in donating to the program?
Well, they can always call me or email me. Especially from now until we go to the All Stars.
Yep.
I'm trying to reach out and get some corporate partners, new corporate partners. We've been talking to a lot of corporations. We want to be associated with big brands, and hopefully we can sign a medical partner in the next 3 or 4 months. We'd love to get a Coke or a Pepsi involved, and certainly some of those other big brands, maybe potentially a car dealer or a car maker. I think a cool little BMW be right up there in this little entry
You
area.
can put it in the back.
Yes,
They
heck
can
yes.
benefit from the food traffic. There's so many people in here.
Yes.
They could,
Yes.
Absolutely. And what's funny is we had a potential sponsor walk in here yesterday, and I walked around. She's like, I had no idea, because this is pretty much a closed event. We want to protect our young student athletes, so we don't allow just people off the street. You have to be associated. You have to be a family member or associated with one of the clubs, and so we keep that pretty tight. And so when they walk in here and they say, "Wow, it's not cluttered from an advertising standpoint, and there's so many people, and they have downtime, so they can come and look at a car or speak to, an entity about, whatever those things are."
There's space and room for cool activations.
Yes.
They can get creative. Brands here can.
Yeah, and we are not gonna. And no offense to minor league baseball, but we will not get to that point. We want 3 or 4 big brands that just want to just be associated with us.
Tell us about those new partnerships and your vision for the region, because I think something that you brought from for your prior experiences, you are actually managing this as a brand.
Yeah, it's a great brand. You know, I mean, every time I talk about I work for the Florida region of USA Volleyball, people are like, "Wow." My former colleagues on the collegiate level said, "Man, you joined volleyball at a great time." I mean, it's collegiately, it's so hot. The pro games, we've got 2 pro leagues, and we're ecstatic to be with working with the Orlando Valkyries,
The reigning champions,
the
Orlando.
reigning champions, and we hope that maybe at this event next year we actually have a Valkyries match.
Oh, that'd be
That would
awesome.
be awesome.
Wouldn't that be
That
cool?
would-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
You
super
know,
cool.
we've got to what 20,000 fans that would just descend on the championship court, and that's still in the work. But the Valkyries are 100% behind it, and Major League Volleyball is like excited. Like we just have to work through the logistics, but we hope to announce something over the summer. They're going to get their schedule, I think, sometime late summer. But that would be a really cool event, and it's just a great way to increase both brands, you know, Major League Volleyball, the Valkyries, and then certainly USA Volleyball. I think that the important thing is as we continue to grow as this entity, volleyball overall, and then USA Volleyball is you know making sure we're giving back to our communities, making sure we're doing things correctly, and you know it's just a great time to be involved with
I was
the
gonna
sport
say
of volleyball.
that's probably gonna better the brand, but it's also gonna better the spectator experience because I feel like yes, you come to see your kid, you come to see whoever it is you're watching,
Yep.
but there's also that downtime after your first game
Yeah.
that you could be watching the Valkyries, you
Yeah.
could be talking to someone, so
Yeah.
it really gives you something to do in that downtime.
Yeah, we've reached out. We have the Fellowship of Christian Athletes across the hall, and they have provided a nice space to come in and just you know spend some time reflecting. We've worked with a company called Energy Station. They're doing yoga, and I don't know if you've seen the bowls where you rub the
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, I saw they were using headphones.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
calm and
And
everything. It was
and
cool.
one of the I was thinking about this too. I saw some families over there playing cards. It's like maybe we roll out some other tournaments, like a poker tournament or a euchre tournament for those
I'm
of
down.
us who
That'd be
grew up
cool.
in the
That'd be cool.
Midwest. You know, just fun things to add to it. You know, a lot of times these families will go to Disney or Universal or whatever. And we don't want to get in that way, but sometimes maybe they just want to chill around the hotel or around the convention center, and so we're always looking for that. And I noted this time last year, I was like, man, I think we need to have a dad's volleyball room and a mom's volleyball room where they can go and just get away from the team. And so,
And the moms.
yes, and yeah, so
And the dads.
And
and
all that
yeah,
pressure.
get 'em- yes. So we're working on stuff like that, and having you know good corporate partners or sponsors gives us the ability to do that without increasing any costs, and that's what
And
our goal is in adding some sponsors is not to just generate more revenue; it's to put it back into the program. Can we, you know, can we do more educational programs? Can we keep our costs consistent? Because renting the convention center for 3 days, it's close to $600,000, and so we do have those big costs, and we want to keep things consistent because we know that these kids are you know they want to travel to Boston and they want to travel to Minneapolis and play in nationals, and those are big expenses, and we want to just make sure we're doing whatever we can to be you know conscientious of that.
and it's a great thing because if you bring family, you got the daughter and the boy,
Yeah.
and if you can put the boy to do something,
Yeah.
it's gonna be advantage. Plus, the father can entertain during
Yep.
the weekend.
Yeah.
That will be awesome.
Yeah, and you feel for the little ones who you know haven't started yet, or they're watching their
Mhm.
big sister or big brother, and you're like, man, I hope they can, you know, we can figure out some things for them to do as well, and that'll be, you know, what we're looking at in 2027. You know, we might roll out 2 or 3 more new things. So.
And that's all from the membership. So that's the money that's something that sometimes parents are like, oh, the membership went up, I don't know, a few bucks, but
Yeah.
that's all.
Yeah.
That's the convention center,
Yes.
all these activations,
Yeah.
all this ref.
Yeah.
That's where the money goes.
Yes. And we go through an internal audit every year with a certified public accountant, and 83% of all of the dollars we bring in go back into volleyball, and you know the rest is insurance for events or salary for staff, and that includes the 200 officials we have here and over 100 officials at almost every event that we're hosting, and all the staff that we have to use to just make sure the netting are up and the courts are laid down perfectly and all that kind of stuff as well. So, and we have from my understanding is our entry fees have been pretty steady for the last 8 or 9 years. So we do not want to see increases if we don't have to.
Can we talk a little bit about the All-Star program that's
Yes.
happening soon? Defending champions of the Florida
Yes.
region, and thank you Badger region and
Yeah.
other regions that we work.
NCR.
NCR.
Yeah.
We have the SD card. You need to put it back. Sorry. But can you
Sure.
tell us about the program
Yeah.
and what are the expectations?
Yeah, the expectations are pretty high. Let me lead with that. When I took over, I had the opportunity to spend, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, a couple days a week with Steve Bishop, and he said, "Don't lose, don't go to the All Stars and lose." And I was like, "Okay." So we'll take 7 All Star teams, 4 girls, 3 boys teams, and this year it's in Columbus, Ohio. We compete with other regions within the USA Volleyball. And this year, USA Volleyball is trying to get 3 or 4 international teams. I don't know which teams those are, but I've heard that 2 of the international teams are on board, and so they're trying to get a couple more. But it's a great experience. They play under FIVB rules instead of just USAV rules. So they're playing 5 sets. My gosh. And then, you're looking at the 13 or 15-year-olds, and by set 4, they're like, oh, man, this is the real deal. So, but it's a great opportunity for those kids to, travel in a very team-oriented environment. We have a meeting the first night we get into Columbus, and they say goodbye to the parents, and they are hunkered down, and we treat it, I liken it to my days on the college campuses when I would travel with a team, either the football team or the basketball or soccer teams, and they went into full game mode. They'd look at tape, they would, or video now, I guess. I'm old school, it's tapes to me. And, they would, have chalk talk and discussions and motivational things. And so, it's really cool, and coming from that college environment where I was around so many student athletes, it's really fun to get to know those kids for a little bit longer. And we were at Florida Fest this last year, and 2 or 3 of the guys from, I think they were from Hype, came up to me and said hello, and I was like, oh, I didn't think they'd even remember, but it was really neat. And so next year, or excuse me, this summer we're in Columbus. Next year we're in Arizona, and then 28 we hope to host, and I think we're looking at hosting that over in Tampa. So knock on wood.
I grew up playing in that program. Well, back in the day it was called High Performance, which is now All Stars. And I think it was cool because it's definitely like the first experience you can have as close as you can get to a college game. Because you're with your teammates all day. You're there for 5 sets every single match. So I think it's the best experience. And then also I did want to ask, is there any plans to involve college coaches more in the process? Because I do remember growing up in high performance, at least, there was a lot of opportunity for people to showcase their talent in front of, the collegiate level coaches.
Yeah. Well, we had over 100 college coaches up in Madison when we won this last year, and so they know the program. We hope that USAV connects back with the program. I have told the folks, the leadership of USAV, I think it should be one of those elements that can feed into the national team development, so have our national team coaches, for U17 or U19, just come and be a part of it and talk about what the expectations are if you want to make that next level, that next jump. But we certainly, when we host, we are going to engage a lot of our coaches, college coaches in the area. It is so difficult for to get college coaches to actually coach our teams, just due to the timing. It's right before August.
They have some camps going on in their
Yeah,
own
they have their
schools.
own camps, absolutely. And our coaches are winning, the coaches that are there. And so You can't tell a coach, hey, you've won 2 or 3 gold medals or a gold and a couple of silvers. We're going to replace you with a college coach. And like I said, we do have 3 or 4 of the coaches that are either on college campuses now or have been in the last 4 or 5 years. So it's so competitive. And I've got, and you're going to have Coach Emo from Barry. He's like, I want to coach. I want to be involved. And I was like, I want you to too, but where do we plug you in right now, because we have been so successful. So
Last year, I remember, I'm not gonna say the team, but there was a team that lost, and the coaches, the players, they were crying.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
you know, they really care, and they take
Yeah.
pride of wearing that Florida region.
Yeah.
By the way, we thank us for involving us in the new rebrand of the logo.
Yes.
That was pretty
yes.
cool too. Thank you.
Yeah, if you guys have an opportunity, repurpose that on social media over the next couple of days, because I think that was a cool idea to it gets a little bit more to a youthful brand.
Yep.
You know, that Team Florida with it's an alligator, it's not the Florida Gator. You know, but that's certainly representative of our state and our region. So
Yeah, I think the international teams coming in. Obviously, when I played, Puerto Rico was considered kind of like international, even though we're part of the U.S. But we did play teams from Canada, and I think that is such a great initiative back again to bring them back, just
Yes.
because it adds to that pride. You
Yeah.
know, like you're playing for Team Florida, you're playing Canada,
yeah,
the Dominican Republic came one
Yep.
year, so it just adds to that overall feel of like I want to win this thing.
and we certainly want to win, but the experience of being able to chat with somebody who's playing and they're from another country.
Oh, the
Hey.
jersey swap. You guys used to
Yeah,
swap
we used to
jerseys
swap
with
our
other countries?
jerseys
Yeah,
every
yeah.
year.
So we got pins to swap last year. We're trying to figure out some cool new thing with the Team Florida logo for the kids to swap. But like you were talking is just that ability to after the match say, what's it like to play from the DR or Puerto Rico or Canada? What how often do you practice, or what are you learning, or how'd you do that? I I have to tell you, one of our kids that was U15, I was watching him at the Florida Fest, and I took a video of him serving, and I sent it to a buddy of mine who's not a volleyball player, but we were tennis players together. He goes, "Man, that's faster than our serves." When we were playing tennis, I go, "I know these young athletes are just tremendous."
Yes.
So
The level of talent in Florida
yes,
is great.
yeah,
So that is an international experience also for the kids that come and participate on the tournament.
Yeah.
It's a new thing that they can see what is internationally going on.
yeah. That's sports needs to be about education as well. You're learning and how things are getting done in other countries or other regions or other cities is just a really cool thing. And they might wind up on the same college team. You never
Right.
know. So
I remember Brian. You have a rivalry. What's the setter?
Christy Blau. He played for the Ohio Valley. We talked a lot, and there
Yeah.
was a couple players that we used to talk before even committing to college.
And Micah too, right? You play against Micah.
Micah Ma, he
Micah.
played on the club level too. So it's a fun experience. You get to make friends, and like you said, you're gonna end up facing them because we're talking like All Stars is like the best of the best.
yeah,
And like these international teams, they treat it as that pipeline
yeah.
for the senior team. So when the DR came, you're talking to people who are training twice a day, 3 times a day, because the next step is you're in the senior team.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, and that's one of the things that when the board of directors hired me, they said try to grow the boys game. We really want, because it's so popular here in Florida and it's well established, but what can we do to make that next level? And I think promoting the Team Florida and the All-Star program is key to that. And whatever we can do, and if any of the listeners out there have any ideas of us doing things that will incentivize and grow the game, I reached out to the high school association, some counties that are not supporting or sanctioning the boys game. We certainly want to grow it on the high school level, and that will incentivize certainly the club directors to launch boys teams as well.
And also we beach. Like we have some of the coolest beach events,
Yeah.
outdoor events.
Yeah.
We got the AVP tour stopping here a few times. We got
Right.
USAB, Pompano. We had it last.
Pompano is phenomenal.
That was so
and
cool.
My wife actually got to come down for a couple days, and she's like, "This is your job?" Actually, yes, yes. And we need to do a better job as a region, rebuilding what we're doing from the beach program, and we're going to look at that over the next 3-6 months on can we put efforts out. There is a lot of facilities that are going to go up in Seminole County and Lake County in the Orlando area, and there's facilities popping up all around the coasts as well. And a couple of things that I know our listeners and viewers know is, Orlando's going to host the women's worlds indoor in 2027, some preliminary rounds, and the winners will be playing in LA in the late August of 27. And then we have also put in with the Greater Orlando Sports Commission to host the Olympic trials. It's a qualifier event for about 5 or 6 sports, and beach volleyball is one of those sports. So we're heavily involved in those 2 events. The NCAA just announced an indoor doubleheader that's coming up this August at ESPN Wide World of Sports. The defending national champion Texas A&M will be playing. Pitt's going to be here. Stanford. I forget the 4th team, but just a great day of volleyball. And so all of those things add to this event because there's that next step, and that's why we love working with the Valkyries, because even if a young lady doesn't think she wants to play volleyball on that level, she might want to work in volleyball on that level. I mean, working in the sports industry is pretty glamorous until you get up at 5 a.m. But there's so many people that want to do that, and I love that as part of one of the things I want to give back to.
You always knew you want to work with sports?
I did. I really did. I was raised by a single mom who was a big sports fan, and we would watch Cincinnati Reds baseball. I grew up in Indianapolis, and Indiana basketball, and lately Indiana's been a football school, and that's been cool too. And we just loved all sports, and so we'd watch the Olympics, we'd watch golf and tennis, and my passion for sports is rooted in my mom raising me as a sports fan.
I think as an athlete too, it's exciting the efforts that are being put to that next level, because right now, or well, not now because we have those leagues, but before that, you're about to graduate college, and then you're looking like, okay, I can go overseas, which is cool. But like you said, once you go there and you're 8 months by yourself, no family, no friends, and you're just kind of having to learn a new language, which can be cool. But if you have that opportunity to just stay close to the area you grew up playing in, so just giving that opportunity to people, to me, it's exciting.
And you know better than anybody, having to go abroad, it's not bad, it's cool, but still every once in a while you're like, man, I'd like to sleep in my own bed.
The rainy days get long.
Yeah.
How many Christmas, how many birthday you spend by yourself? I remember. During COVID, Brian couldn't leave.
COVID, I couldn't leave, so it's different.
And you look at the women's collegiate game. I went to the Final Four this year, and it was in Kansas City, and it was amazing. And the energy when you walked into that building, and my wife went to Texas A&M, and she was bragging on them. I was like, great, it's so cool. And my alma mater, Indiana, made the Sweet 16, and we're doing a bracket, a pool in the office, predicting who's going to win. And 10, 15 years ago, that was only done for men's basketball. And the growth of this game and women's sports overall has just been unreal. It's been so fun to see.
So it's okay to say that growing in sports, you make a lot of sacrifice to get that.
Yeah, it's fun to see. It's really cool to see.
Does it add pressure to you to be involved with volleyball when volleyball is one of the hottest sports?
I don't ever look at it like that. I look at it like it's a privilege. It's so fun, and I love to learn, and so I have not been afraid to say I don't know. And I am still learning. I mean, I could not tell you how to do a trickle-down bid right now. And I know we've got some big bids going to be awarded tomorrow, but that's not my job. Our team knows how to do that. Now I want to learn just so I can continue to grow. But but I think the fun things are what are how we're going to enhance the game as well, because the the staff just knows how to run a great tournament already. So I don't have to worry about that, and I want to make sure it's done well. But you know, those are easy things, and then adding to the fun is what's going to be great.
To wrapping this up, we've been 30 minutes. So
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So anything else you can tell to the people that are watching us, people that are looking to the podcast?
Well, I feel real privileged to work with the volleyball world, and with you guys. I mean, I just think there's so much passion, there's so much family.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously the family here, but you walk out and you talk to people and they're like, yeah, my cousin's on this team or with this club, and you know, you talk to club directors and they're so engaged. They want these young ladies and young men to be great, and not necessarily great at the game, but just great kids that grow up into great adults. And so it's just an honor, and I'm happy. And you know, if you talk to my wife, she's like, "Man, he's been so re-energized," you know, because college athletics is tough. It's a
Right.
tough business, and with the NIL and the transfer portal, it's really graded on a lot of people that are working in sports. And here I feel like rejuvenated and ready to like see how we can take the next steps and continue to grow the game.
I think you did great, like Coach K. They
Yeah.
step out at the right time. It's like, well, this is a new monster. I don't want to be a part of.
Yeah, yeah. So this monster that is here is a fun one, and we want to continue to grow it and just make sure that everybody who walks in our doors, you know, has a great experience.
Also, where do we pay attention? Social media, website, everything that can go.
Yeah, the Florida region has a great website. We've just relaunched it, and we hope that we're going to enhance that. We're losing our marketing person. She's going to leave us, Chris Cifelli, and we look to maybe do some more fun stuff with you guys. She's done a tremendous job on all of our social media outlets, fun, engaging the kids, you know, little quirky, fun little contests and all that kind of stuff. So um, we just enjoy that, and that's certainly one of the things, you know, doing the TikToks. And as you walk through the hall, you'll see all
Oh,
the
yeah.
little the girls
Dancing.
are doing their little dances and everything. I was like, "Go girls!" and
I
kind of
think that
waving
should
in the
be
back.
an activation, a TikTok station where they can put their phones and just do their
Yes,
dances.
yeah, that's a great idea. Brought to you by SpikeNet, right?
Well, thank you, Kurt.
You're welcome. You're
Thanks
welcome,
for-
guys.
Remember, follow our Florida region,
Yes.
FloridaRegion.org. So
Yep. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
thank you for having us.